there was nothing in regards to a supporting factor leaving the meeting with the mayor. I'm not going to say he said he's going to offer this and he's going to offer that, because there wasn't anything on the table to offer. He did not put anything on the table. We went there with an empty table and we left with nothing on that table. And then he said, I'm Andrew Brown. Has the mayor not told you about me? And I was like, no. And he's like, has Anthony King not told you about me? And I was like, no. And he's like, okay then. He told me who he was, and he took my telephone number and said he's gonna call me later on that day. And as you know, a lot of individuals, as to Andrew Brown, get some water and drink some water. As to Andrew Brown, we're gonna talk about Andrew Brown. So, talking with the mayor, there wasn't any real highlights to where Ringo would be able to uphold what he's doing with the support of CROYDON Council and the local businesses and charities that are running in and around Croydon. The mayor did not give me any clarity. I didn't leave that meeting with extra enlightenment, feeling even there was a bit of hope from Magnificent, the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning, the end. Do you understand, people? Yeah. So I just want to show you that the powers that we have here on earth and our eternal Father that is here guiding us, people. Yeah. Let's not never doubt some of the voices we hear. Let's channel these voices. Let's channel these energies. Do you understand, people? Yeah. Let's overcome the obstacles that are trying to actually hold us down. Let's rebuke these obstacles that are trying to hold us down. You understand? And we trample them and we stand upon them. You understand? Because why? Because we are children of the Most High. You understand? And we live and we reign and we're forevermore and we're everlasting. You understand, people? Yeah, because once we've been given this key, this code, this magnificent, this unique uniform, this unique blueprint, no one can take it from you and it cannot be destroyed. It's a transformation. We are going through a process and we must take our time. Yeah, we must have the moment to relate, because this journey that we on is important to know why and who you are. That is important. Love is your key and you are in control. Good vibes. My people. Wagwan. My people. You know what we're talking about today? We're talking about what happened in the mayor's office. What did Ringo and the mayor discuss? Nah, man. Livening up, I need to tell you what happened in the mayor's office, really and truly, yeah. It was an initial very good meeting. I'm not going to deny that, because it was great to be in the same room as some high authorities that are representing and taking great influences into the community. So it was good to sit down and speak with the mayor. Yeah, man, let's talk about what actually happened in the mayor's office, everybody, yeah, with Ringo. Like I said, it was initially a good, I was looking forward to the meeting. Whether the turnout and the outcome was what I expected it to be is another story, people, yeah. But I need each and every one of you, yeah, to stay tuned, don't go away. We've got a great discussion here right now. it's not just the mayor we're going to talk about. We're going to also talk about Andrew Brown as well. Andrew Brown, please do your research and check out who he is. Good vibes. I met Andrew Brown in the supermarket randomly one morning. Someone came up to me and said, say randomly in the supermarket, someone said, Ringo. And I turned around and I thought it was just someone from the local community, yeah? And I said, how you doing, mate? You're right, yeah? Big up yourself. That's what I said to him. And then he said, do you not know who I am? And I was like, huh? I don't know you. And then he said, I'm Andrew Brown. Has the mayor not told you about me? And I was like, no. And he's like, has Anthony King not told you about me? And I was like, no. And he's like, okay then. He told me who he was, and he took my telephone number and said he's gonna call me later on that day. And as you know, a lot of individuals has made promises and said things, and very little have been done. But guess what? I'm making this video now because I've met with the mayor and I've met with Andrew Brown, and I feel like it's something good to speak about, to share what has actually happened. Meeting with Andrew Brown was actually random. It was a very random meet. It wasn't planned. It wasn't structured. It wasn't organized. We exchanged numbers. He followed up. He called me. He invited me into his office. I turned up for the meeting. We had discussions. We had a bit more dialogue going on than I had with the mayor. But let's talk about the two individuals, people, yeah? We've got the mayor of CROYDON and we've got Andrew Brown to speak about, people, yeah? Our good vibes. Now, so what's important as well on our journey, on our mission, let me just make a statement, everybody, yeah? Our mission and our ethos, yeah, is to help people that are in need. And we initially started off helping the homeless and the needy, people that are sleeping rough, people that mainly from the local community of CROYDON. And then we slowly started to venture out into just like other surrounding areas like Brixton, do you understand, people, yeah? And we was just cooking and handing out food and just trying to help our community and just embrace positivity, because there's a lot, especially from the black community and the black culture, there's a lot of segregation and a lot of war, a lot of stigma. So myself as a young black male, also is to play a role to also remind brothers, not just from the black community, but also from all communities, all cultures, just like, well, we don't have to be stereotyped and to be looked at in a certain type of way, no matter how we're dressed, no matter how we look, and no matter how we speak. You understand, people, yeah? And that's also something which means a lot as well, to push that out, to show that from my corner as well, people, as well as to push the narrative to help individuals that are in need. We have extended the journey. We've extended the journey not just to give to the homeless, not just to give to the needy, but also to help single mums, to help single dads, and to also help families that are facing rough conditions. I remember growing up when my mum had to work until 8 o'clock, late shifts, but remember school finishes here in the UK at 3:30. So within that time and space, you would have had kids, and that would have just literally, whether it's some food from the night before, or you'd have to make something when you come in and wait, and your mum it would be a late one. It would be literally a late one. So we have to bear in mind the journey and the experience that I've had is just to show and to replicate that we're trying to make a difference for those that are facing times like that. You understand, people, yeah? And that's why the mission is so important, to help people, not because of that purpose, but because of the purpose of humanity and how important humanity is, and to also rekindle back the love that's been lost over decades and centuries, almost a lifetime, people, yeah. So that is important for Ringo Vision, and for people to know that humanity is important. Each and every one of you that's watching this video, you're important wherever you are in life and wherever you're watching from. Just remember the key essence, you understand? And the key essence is always going to be the love. Remember the togetherness, remember the unity, and remember the what? The strength, you understand? Sometimes we need a backative, whether it's like from a friend. It not necessarily has to be money, because look, even myself, like all of those, the love, the unity, the togetherness and the strength, I'm also asking for support in the sense of someone to hold the camera when I'm out cooking, someone to speak with the homeless and get them together while we're there cooking, somebody to hand out the food. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? And that's all a part of that whole ethos. Me also wanting individuals like yourselves that are watching to play an active role on the mission and to take your role. It's not for me to choose your role for you, it's for individuals to see. I've seen what Ringo is doing. Maybe I can come out and I can hand out some soup or hand out some food. And maybe I work in mental health or drug rehabilitation. Let me come out and speak with some homeless people while Ringo is there for an hour or 2 hours. And that's all it is. It's just spreading that. It's just applying the support so that we've got a body of energy that's just on the same thing, and it's all about humanity. It's all about us. It boils back down to us as well, people, yeah? In the sense of like, if we're helping others, we're helping others to help ourselves for a better future, for a better way, for our kids. Do you understand? Because they're part of this life cycle. So we don't want it to deteriorate in a way where it's uncontrollable. We want to try and identify like what we're doing, what's actually happening, and then try and assess the situation. Like we've been going out, we've actually spent time out with the homeless. We've slept out in Crawley over the weekend. We've done nights out with the homeless in Croydon. We've not just gone out and handed out food. We've actually, if you look back through the videos, we've actually slept out there. We've actually gone to places like Bedford, Jaywick, Bristol, Manchester. Do you understand? We've gone to places like Birmingham. We've gone to, like I said, Crawley, and we've done various places around London. When we went to Jamaica, we also extended the mission to the kids in the schools in Jamaica as well. So as you can see, it's not just in one designated area, but wherever we see help, wherever we see there's a need for what we're trying to apply, we must aid to it, because that is the mission, people, yeah? Guess what? I need to just thank each and every one of you that's been on the journey as well, supporting me. You guys have been absolutely amazing, and I can't thank you guys enough. Just your encouragement, the words, your comments that you guys are leaving. I know I don't always have a lot to say because there's so much comments and there's a lot going on, but I do see each and every comment, and I do try to put a thumbs up as well, to let you know that I've seen it, and I appreciate what you guys are doing by sending your comments. Those of you that have been aiding towards the GoFundMe as well, that's enabled the mission to keep going as well. Do you understand, people? Little by little, every little helps, you understand? And also we're working towards a van. Yes, the video came out and said, yes, Ringo's got a van. That was all a part of some good affirmation to put it out in the universe as some positivity, because we're so close. We're so close. So I didn't want to say trying to get a van. I want to be more positive and say, I've got this van. Do you understand? To feel like we're in this van, people, yeah? So don't be disappointed that you didn't see the van. Do you understand, people, yeah? The van is on its way, and we're in good faith, and we're just working. And even if it takes a few more months or a few more weeks, however long it takes, we're still on the mission ongoing anyway. We're not giving up. So with or without the van, the journey continues. That's what I wanted to highlight to you guys. But the van is so important. It's an important tool for us to have right now, not just to get from A to B, but to be able to imagine stocking up a van with sleeping bags, with care packs, with being able to provide food banks to families. Do you understand? People, yeah, stocking it up with food and having like 100 shopping packaged up for families that are in need, single mums, single dads, and being able to be somewhere and drive there and they can come and collect. Good vibes, that people, yeah. I don't want to go off the topic, so I hope you guys are still in tune with what's actually going on, people, yeah, because we are talking about Andrew Brown and we are talking about the mayor, those two individuals as well, yeah. It's so important for us to have this discussion right now. This is, I hope, get yourself a cup of tea. Make yourself a cup of tea, please, and relax yourself, because we're going to have a good little talk here, you understand? First of all, what was the anticipation like to go into the mayor's office? I was just filled with good positive energy, and I felt very good that we was invited to come into the mayor's office, and that just gave a next level on what we're actually doing. And whether they provide the support that we need or the help that we actually need, it's just the awareness that they know what is actually going on. So we're not going to stalk them and pressurize or bombard them for anything. But one thing I must say to you guys, yeah, going into the meeting, I felt very positive, and I just felt like I handled the meeting very well, in the sense that I didn't have much to say, because all I wanted to deliver and made sure that they understood was the ethos of the mission and the extent that we go to just make it happen day by day. So initially we went into the mayor's office, everyone. So as we went into the mayor's office, and we was greeted by his colleagues, and the mayor came in, and we more or less got straight into the conversation instantly. He spoke about what he does and who he is, and when there was a time to talk and he asked if there was anything that I wanted to say, I said one thing, people. So when the mayor asked if there's anything that I wanted to say, I just basically asked, my question was, what is the general concerns of the well-being of the individuals that live in and around CROYDON, i.e. single mums, single dads, families that are facing rough conditions, and also the homeless and those that are sleeping rough on the streets. What is the aid for these individuals? Let me just repeat the question for you people, yeah, because I just want to overstand that I'm not asking a trick question. I'm being very, very, very straightforward. And this is the question. This is the one and only question. The one and only question I asked the mayor. What is the general well-being for the local residents that live in and around CROYDON, i.e. the single mums, the single dads, families that are facing rough conditions, and also the homeless and the needy? The mayor turned around and said to me, what do I mean by that? And I said, and I then repeated the question again, and then that's when his secretary that's doing the counts stepped in and started to answer the question, and then within 30 seconds to maybe about a minute in, she faded out, and then that's when the mayor related on the issue. And I found that was like quite a bit, I was quite a bit jogged back to know that he didn't understood or overstood where I was coming from or what I was asking him and I was being very straightforward and direct. We was all in the meeting, and it was very subtle. It was very calm, and we was all very relaxed. So there wasn't any form of high-pitched tones or frustrated dialect being transferred between any of us in that room that was talking. It was a very well peaceful meeting. Whether the meeting there was a result that was gained, that's another issue. That's another issue, everyone. And from there, the mayor went into that conversation. The mayor then spoke for about 20 minutes. Yeah. We left the meeting with about 47 minutes. We were left out of that meeting. It wasn't an hour fully. It was about 47 minutes we sat there. The mayor then spoke for 20 minutes about the funding structure and access to funding, and we're not equipped with certain things because of bankruptcy and the boroughs facing. It was all about not having money and not having enough money to just do things and make things happen. Like, basically, he was saying that he was bankrupt. I didn't speak about any money. I only said in that meeting, when the mayor asked, what do I want? Because there was two things that was said. There was a question, do I want to say anything? And there was one that was, what do I want? What would I like? Yeah. And I said, I would like support and have aid and access to the CROYDON organizations that are structured to support single mums, single dads, homelessness. I would like to have access to be able to work with the charities that are operating in and around CROYDON. And I also mentioned I would also like to have access or be able to be pointed in the right direction or be supported to get some funding to support the mission that we're on. And there was nothing back from the mayor to say, okay, Ringo, we have this in place and we would like to support you. We have seen what you've done. And when I said to the mayor that I've spent from my pocket for the last over 16 months and supported what I've been doing just solely because of passion, just solely because of love, and just solely because of just having that compassion for humanity, for myself, for others around me, which has made me carrying on and just feeling that universal energy from the universe itself, from the creator, our creator, the God that's created this life, has sparked me with this energy, with this extra compassion for the people in the world. That is it. That is it, people. As to Andrew Brown, get some water and drink some water. As to Andrew Brown, we're going to talk about Andrew Brown. So, talking with the mayor, there wasn't any real highlights to where Ringo would be able to uphold what he's doing with the support of CROYDON Council and the local businesses and charities that are running in and around CROYDON. The mayor did not give me any clarity. I didn't leave that meeting with extra enlightenment, feeling even there was a bit of hope from the support of the mayor or the council. I didn't leave that meeting feeling any different from how I got there. I went there with a very open opinion and open-minded to let's see where it goes, and let's see why the mayor actually wants to have me in a meeting. And I was quite what would you say? You know, when you're not, it's not an excitement, but you know, like, you want to know. Someone said that they've got a present for you, and you want to know what you kind of like. Well, I wonder what that present is. I wonder what that present is. So it was like, I wonder what the mayor wants to talk to me about. I wonder what it was. And until getting there and leaving, and even while I was there, I still didn't know what the mayor wanted. It's only when I left out of there and I realized that the initial meeting was just initially just to say and to tick a box to say, I've met with Ringo. I've spoken with Ringo, because there wasn't any clarification in the sense of Ringo. I even said when he said, what would you want? What would you need? I even said, I would love to be able to be supported. Also, let's do a transformation from maybe having not a shopping trolley pushing around the local high street, but maybe be supported with one of the buildings that the council have, that I maybe be able to occupy on certain days and times and scales, and maybe supported with some funding to get a premises, to have a food hub, to be able to invite the homeless. There was nothing, and I left that meeting there not one point throughout that meeting was a reassurance that we would like to work with you. We would like to aid you in your mission. We would like to support you. There was nothing. There was nothing in regards to a supporting factor leaving the meeting with the mayor. I'm not going to say he said he's going to offer this and he's going to offer that, because there wasn't anything on the table to offer. He did not put anything on the table. We went there with an empty table and we left with nothing on that table. I left expressing just briefly with what we've been doing. I've been out on the streets of Croydon for the last 18 months and we've fed over 18,000 people. And through my social media, I've had support from various individuals that's come out and helped to provide aid, in the sense of coming out, supporting with the homeless for the day, coming to help to provide ingredients, coming to help to provide the necessary utensils that I use, i.e. forks, spoons, napkins, and the gas canisters. I expressed that briefly in the what would you like, and how I've been aiding the mission. And he was quite astonished that one man was pushing a shopping trolley and on a mission to feed 1 million people, and that did not shake the mayor one bit to think, you know what, it's not that he said he's going to do something, but he's doing something, and we can see that he's doing something. Let's be a part of this. This is a change that's in our community, that people have opened up charities and collected fundings to say, we're going to change knife crime, we're going to change gun crime, we're going to change these things, but yet still we see no major impact with frontline movement to tackle the situation from inside the core of the heart of where it's actually happening, not from a distance when we have food banks and when we have meetings and we speak and we have a fun day and we record and highlight this fun day. No, on a daily basis, until the mission has completed. Like we say, we want to help and feed 1 million people. We're not going to stop until this mission is completed, people, yeah? Andrew Brown, I had a very good talk with Andrew Brown. He offered a lot of basic help and basic support, but it is ongoing. He spoke about things like what he does and what he's been doing for the community. I spoke about what I'm doing for the community. He already knew that because he approached me in the supermarket. But I did not leave Andrew Brown either with a leverage of clarity to even say, you know what, great move. You approached me and you had something there to offer me because you approached me. There wasn't nothing solid on the table as an offer. It was just maybe let's have a talk with Ringo, and it may be a great thing to speak to the individual, but we will go more. I don't want to just be talking too much, but it was really just to highlight to you guys, yes, we spoke with the mayor, and we still haven't had a response or an email or any phone calls or anything. So I just wanted to give you guys the update, and the mission continues as normal, and we won't stop, and we will continue to push hard and keep going. The van is coming, and we are going to get people off the streets. There are people that have come off the streets, but there's another thing that's in place that Ringo Vision has realized while we're out here. Some of the homeless individuals that are on the streets, it's very hard for them to come off if they don't take up the drug rehabilitative programs that are in place, or if we do not support them to take up these drug rehabilitative programs. Also for people that are alcoholics, if they don't take up the alcoholic related programs for rehabilitation, the situation is going to be a hard tackle. Do you understand? But we must identify some of the reasons and the issues why some of the individuals are outside, and then we can deal with them and assess the thing and get them off the streets. Okay, you're not gonna be in the right state of mind to even live in a house because you're out of it every day. And it's not being funny and it's not judging, but it's a fact and it's a reality. How would an individual that is a hardcore drug addict be able to support and maintain being in a house? That house is just going to be a drug den. So therefore, we need to get those individuals into drug rehabilitative programs so that these individuals then may be able to go into living accommodations. You understand, people? Yeah. So we're on the mission, and the mission is to help these individuals not just get into a property, but to help them. We're highlighting that there's mental health, there's drug related issues, there's alcohol issues. They're the three main things that I've identified while being out differently from other individuals suffering from life trauma. That is a big topic. Trauma is something that traumatized. You understand? Something that is building up, coming down through a tube until it explodes into something that, do you understand, can sometimes not be controlled, and your mind goes spiral because it has an ongoing day in, day out effect, and you're flashing in and out. And it's changing and deterring your mood swings and who you really are, personality. We will really deal with this and talk about some of the issues and some of the real life scenarios that we have come across while we've been out to support and help the homeless people. Yeah, you guys have been absolutely amazing since I've been on this journey, and this journey has opened up itself to me and showed me so much, and I've learned so much, not just about myself as I'm on this journey, to even just take that even more. Even though we're here, we're doing it, but compassion comes on all different levels, and the compassion for people has grown and has evolved over the time, and it can only get more warming and loving as we grow as a community, and knowing that we're all a part of something so special, not just a YouTube channel, but a channel that is here to drive and give back and help and to support those that are in need. Yes, we cook, yes, we vlog, yes, we go out and I show you other things as well, because we have to keep a momentum and we have to keep a balance as well at the same time, people. Yeah, so please do overstand all of that as well, you understand, people. Yeah, and a good vibes, big up yourself until we connect again, you understand, people. Yeah, and this conversation goes on, and like I said, peace and love to each and every one of you that's watching. Peace and love to the mayor, peace and love to Andrew Brown, peace and love to Anthony King, you understand. If you cannot do anything about it, don't say nothing, leave it, and let the good cause just run through. Don't try to infiltrate it, don't try to undermine it, don't try to segregate it, don't try to destroy it, don't try to replace it, you understand, because the Most High has ordained it, you understand, people. Yeah, and what I'm doing now, I'm living in my rightful path, you understand, and no one can change that unless, you understand, you understand. Let's not say no more, because life is the greatest gift, you understand, and we're all sharing this breath of life. Let there be life, you understand. Could you imagine when the Most High gave us that and put that element here, that force here? It's a very, very, very powerful force, you understand, and we could never exist without it. It's here to serve us, and we have it in an abundance. So why not magnify and glorify this greatness that we're all experiencing, called life, you understand, comes with love and all the other things that come with it. But let's focus on the positive. Let's focus on the heights of how the Creator, God Himself, put us here. He wasn't tired after He made us. He wasn't drained out after He made us. He was already the Most High, the highest, the purest, the most magnificent, the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning, the end. Do you understand, people? Yeah. So I just want to show you that the powers that we have here on earth, and our eternal Father that is here guiding us, people. Yeah, let's not never doubt some of the voices we hear. Let's channel these voices, let's channel these energies. Do you understand, people? Yeah, let's overcome the obstacles that are trying to actually hold us down. Let's rebuke these obstacles that are trying to hold us down, you understand, and we trample them and we stand upon them, you understand. Because why? Because we are children of the Most High, you understand, and we live and we reign and we're forevermore and we're everlasting. You understand, people? Yeah, because once we've been given this key, this code, this magnificent, this unique uniform, this unique blueprint, no one can take it from you, and it cannot be destroyed. It's a transformation. We are going through a process, and we must take our time. Yeah, we must have the moment to relate, because this journey that we on is important to know why and who you are. That is important. Love is your key, and you